The StreamX X2 Max is one of the newest Android TV boxes on the market, promising high performance. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of the device, let's quickly talk about TV boxes in general. What they are, why you might need one, and whether the X2 Max could be your next streaming powerhouse. So a TV box is basically a small device that plugs into your TV, turning it into a smart TV. It runs an operating system, in this case Android, and lets you stream movies, shows, music, and even play games. You can install apps like YouTube, Netflix, Kodi, IPTV, or even browse the web. Essentially the things you can do on a smart TV if you don't have a smart TV. We'll try this with this computer monitor, which I use as an extended display for my laptop. So why should you buy a TV box?
Good question.
Well, if you've got an older TV without smart features, or a spare monitor hanging around, a TV box is a no-brainer. It's also perfect for people who want more freedom than what's offered by the locked-in systems like Roku, Fire TV, and other services. With the TV box, you're in full control. You can sideload apps, customize your launcher, and tweak settings to your heart's content. With that being said, let's look at what you get with the StreamX X2 Max. So inside the box, you'll find the StreamX X2 Max itself, the remote control, a HDMI cable, a power adapter, and the user manual. Just like the box, the unit itself feels solid. It's lightweight but doesn't feel cheap thanks to this metal casing all around. The silver matte finish resists fingerprints nicely, and the soft rounded design gives it a premium look. Small enough to fit behind your TV or on a shelf, but one thing I don't like is these ports at the back. So even though this doesn't take up much space, you'll end up needing that extra space anyway because of these wires. An easy solution for this could be the ports being brought forward, which could result in the box being thicker, but I would still prefer that option than this. Or the other option is just to design the charger and the HDMI cables to be flat-headed like this, so it's not taking up that additional space at the back. In the front of the unit, we have the LCD display showing the time and some other symbols. You have the antennas at the back, alongside the ports where you have the input for the power, IR, AV, HDMI, LAN, and SPDIF, whatever that stands for. Setup is super simple. You plug in the power cable, which turns the TV box on, and then you'll need to connect the HDMI port to your chosen device. And it boots up within 30 seconds, which is perfect. The on-screen instructions are also clear and simple, and connecting to Wi-Fi or Ethernet is straightforward, but annoying because of the typing. Once you're logged in, things are relatively simple, but let me show you what you get on the front page. Okay, so this is the user interface you'll see when you first load it up, and let's just go through each stage. So in the top left you have the settings, and this is what brings up the network you can connect to, Bluetooth, your account, the apps, and the device preferences. So that gives you a lot more access, a chance to personalize things as per your requirements. And I don't go through the whole thing, but there is a lot in here. And if you have any questions, link them down in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you as and when I can. Next option you have is the file manager, I guess. If you press that, this will show you the local memory, and this kind of shows you anything you have on the device. Currently it's empty, there's nothing in here, but as you can see, it's the standard Android settings. And the next option is the brush, which is basically optimizing the TV box. And the next thing is the browser. So this is now testing what speed I'm getting on this TV box. And as you can see, it's not too bad, 110, which is slower than what I get on my personal phone using the same network. And as you can see, that is much faster than what we see on screen. So that's a good 393 megabytes per second compared to 110 we get on the TV box. And the next icon you see is the bin, which basically allows you to uninstall any apps, and you can see that list here. So let's just get rid of one of these, and there we go. It's as simple as that. And the next one is the microphone. As you can see, my remote is already connected, and now we will try to test the microphone. Unbox therapy. So as you see, it definitely does work. So heading back to those icons, the next one you see is FN. So this allows you to set hotkeys, so like quick shortcuts for things you want. So let's add YouTube to that one and cross it over to the other. We set one as YouTube. If we press that now, it will take me straight to YouTube. And the next icon is the customer support. You can get in contact with them using these 4 services: so WhatsApp, online chat, Facebook, or YouTube. So the other options you have is live TV. So if we click that, currently I don't have any apps for live TV. I do have Pluto. So if I press this will allow me to go into the app and I guess watch TV. This will depend on where you are, your location. Send me a message. So some apps may or may not be available, but it's worth checking that out before you try this. So again, these options are basically the same thing. You're essentially setting what apps you think or what apps you want to have in this option. Browser will take you to the browser, which I believe is Chrome. Apps, this is the list of all the apps. So this is where we have the App Store, and I'm already logged in. As you can see, you have a lot of options, from movies to games to entertainment. But if you do want further options, you can sideload apps from an APK. So let's talk about the remote control, which is standard but does offer more than the usual. So you have 2 power buttons at the top, one to power on and the other to power off. Volume keys, which actually don't work. They're also right at the center here, so I'm not sure what the ones at the top are for. You have the home and the back button. Arrow keys with the OK button in the center. A microphone button supporting Google Voice Assist. Works pretty smoothly and it's optimized for apps, so hitting it on the home screen versus hitting it on an app like YouTube actually does different things, which is nice to see. A mouse mode button for when typing can be a bit of a chore. And finally, the full keypad of numbers, which can be used as shortcuts for your chosen apps. So for the nerds out there that want to know the specs, I'll just leave them here, but I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert, so I will just show them and not discuss them. So I've tested several apps with the X2 Max and it has all worked pretty well without any problems. I've seen no lag whatsoever. Gaming is also smooth. I've tested lightweight titles, responsive and smooth, but I don't know how true that would be for heavier titles. So nothing mind-blowing, but plenty for everyday use, streaming and lightweight gaming. So if you're not looking for something really advanced, I think this works perfectly. You can grab the StreamX X2 Pro for just $299 and the StreamX X2 Max for $329. And if you use the code GadgetSquared, you will get an additional $30 off on either of those 2 products. What I will say is, if you're mainly using YouTube, IPTV and apps like those, and you're happy with sideloading a few apps here and there, the StreamX X2 Max will absolutely get the job done and successfully turn a boring display into a full-featured smart TV, although you will have to find your own speakers as this does not come with any. But if you're an advanced user who knows exactly what they want, you might want to dig deeper into the specs and see if this fits the bill. Either way, you can use the links in the description to see exactly that, and remember, $30 off when you use the code GadgetSquared. That's all for now. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!